And good morning. For the final time, we're going to welcome Stephanie Roberts. She's going to go back to The View on Monday.
That's right. Well, I never left The View. I'm
That's
just going to start getting a little more sleep during the week.
So this is confusing. I'll be with Stephanie on Monday. A different Stephanie will join us on Monday.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to meet Stephanie Webb. It'll be a lot of fun, and I'm happy that you don't have to learn another name. Right? It won't matter what you say. It'll be easy.
No name tags required out here.
Exactly. Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. A nice start this morning. I had windows down on the ride in. Hopefully sunshine on the way. We'll check in with First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi and talk about a weekend. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. It looks like it's going to be absolutely great out there. White Rabbits, by the way, December 1st, right? Say White Rabbits first of the month and you get good luck all month long. I'm sure that's going to happen, especially with our new Stephanie joining us. I'm sure it's going to be a fun time. A little bit of fog in inland areas, but other than that, we're looking at very quiet conditions on the Suncoast. No rain falling in along the coastline. Really won't have a problem with fog. 59 degrees Lakewood Ranch, 61 Sarasota, 63 in Inglewood, 59 degrees in Bradenton. And the forecast for today looks great. Daytime highs topping out near the 80-degree mark with relatively low humidity. Weekend forecast in a minute. Back to you.
Talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking First Alert traffic right now. Some buildup there on 14th Street West as you head northbound toward State Road 70. Otherwise pretty clear in Manatee County. Some buildups there around University, around 301, also in Lakewood Ranch, Bee Ridge, and the eastbound lane around Tuttle. South County mostly clear at 602 on your Friday morning. Our top story this hour, the accused Tampa serial killer has made his first appearance in court.
24-year-old Howell Donaldson is accused of shooting and killing 4 people in the Seminole Heights neighborhood. Donaldson wore a smock to prevent him from hurting himself while the judge spoke to him through a video link, ordering him to be held without bond until his next hearing. The state attorney is now considering seeking the death penalty.
So consistent with my duties as state attorney, I will evaluate all the aggravating and mitigating evidence in this case to determine whether there is a legal basis to seek the death penalty under U.S. Supreme Court and Florida law. And if the case satisfies the legal requirements, and if it's consistent with what the defendant, the victim's families want, then we will seek the death penalty.
Donaldson was arrested at a McDonald's after police received a tip that he asked the manager to hold his loaded gun, which police say was the murder weapon. Police say they are also using cell phone data and shell casings as evidence. They say they are confident Donaldson is the suspect they were looking for. Developing overnight in Washington, Senate Republicans are still working out the final details of the tax plan.
The bill hit a roadblock last night over concerns about how it will affect the federal deficit. And as reporter Arlette Sands tells us, a vote is still planned in the Senate later on this morning.
Senate Republicans are working in overdrive, hammering out the final details of their tax plan.
Failure's not an option. We need a tax cut.
The package got a big boost from Senator John McCain. This summer, he sank the GOP health care bill. Now, he's on board for taxes. But Republicans are scrambling to win over the holdouts.
Do you think there's any chance you don't pass this bill?
I think it's likely to pass.
One of those holdouts is Senator Bob Corker, seen here on the Senate floor huddling with GOP leaders. Corker's concerned about how much the plan adds to the federal deficit.
We haven't got the finish line yet.
Senator Ron Johnson is also withholding his support. He wants more tax cuts for business owners. The plan cuts tax rates for individuals and corporations. The corporate tax cuts are permanent, but the individual rates go back up in a decade. A recent Congressional Budget Office analysis found those earning over $100,000 a year will benefit the most. And in 10 years, lower and middle-income Americans lose out. Senate Democrats are blasting the bill.
What this is a grab bag full of special interest goodies for multinational corporations.
On CNN, independent Senator Angus King criticized the process.
To call this a circus would be an insult to circuses.
After postponing the votes last night, the Senate will be voting this morning, but it's unclear what exactly they'll be voting on. Those negotiations are expected to play out in the coming hours. Arlette Sands, ABC News, Washington.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson may not be long for the White House. Sources say Tillerson could soon be replaced by current CIA Director Mike Pompeo. The relationship between President Trump and Tillerson has gone downhill over the past months, while Pompeo has become one of the president's closest advisors. Pompeo's vacancy at the CIA would most likely be filled by U.S. Senator Tom Cotton.
We're learning new details this morning after a jury has found Jose Inez Garcia Zarate not guilty in the 2015 shooting death of Kate Steinle in San Francisco. The jury did convict him of being a felon in possession of a firearm. He faces a possible sentence on that of a charge of 16 months to 3 years. She was walking along the waterfront when she was shot and killed, walking with her father. Defense attorneys say the gun went off accidentally, did not mean to shoot her. Now, he is a Mexican citizen, a legal alien, and now subject to immediate deportation for the 5th time. The case became a political lightning rod in the debate over immigration and sanctuary cities. He's 45 years old, been deported 5 times before this shooting.
All 6 Baltimore police officers charged in the arrest and death of Freddie Gray are now back on duty. That's according to T.J. Smith, the chief spokesman for the Baltimore Police Department. Smith says none of the officers are on patrol duty, but they have all been reinstated with full police power. None of the officers were convicted in Gray's death.
New this morning, experts now confirm a rare earthquake did hit the East Coast yesterday, causing a 4.1 magnitude on the scale. Tremors were felt in D.C., Philly, and New York. Unlike West Coast quakes, quakes are somewhat rare in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. It was 200 miles, the quake was 200 miles from the epicenter of the August 2011 earthquake, in which Virginia was rattled, Washington, D.C. It caused between $200 to $300 million in damage to the Washington Monument, the National Cathedral, and also 600 homes as well.
Happening in Florida after repeated legislative debates in recent years about the greyhound industry, Florida voters could decide whether to ban dog racing in the state in 2018. Greyhound racing has lost popularity in recent years as other forms of gambling have grown, but it still plays an important role for many facilities that are required by law to run live races if they want to offer more lucrative types of gambling like card rooms. Supporters of the proposal point to issues such as injuries and the deaths of greyhounds in their argument to shut down the racing.
The state is losing money on greyhound racing. There are some jobs involved, but not nearly the number the industry claims. And I believe if this goes before voters, voters will decide that our economy should not be built on cruelty of dogs.
The Commission's General Provisions Committee approved the proposal, which would ban greyhound racing at the end of 2019.
Florida state officials are reacting to nationwide accusations against the chain Massage Envy. More than 180 women have accused therapists at the locations around the country of inappropriate contact. Florida officials say they have worked for years to prevent similar acts from happening here. Licensed massage therapists say the state does require background checks and fingerprints before issuing a new therapist to a license.
There are new efforts this morning to make walking in downtown Sarasota even safer. The Florida Department of Transportation is coming up with a fix to help those trying to cross 301 between Fruitville and 10th Street. FDOT is suggesting a raised median for the middle of that half-mile stretch of road. The $500,000 proposal says safe havens for pedestrians trying to cross 4 lanes of traffic are necessary. Sarasota police say there have been 10 vehicle versus pedestrian accidents since 2014 and 5 of them last year.
I think that's a great idea too, because if you put a median there, it's 2 sides, you got traffic coming and traffic going. So I think that'd be safe too for a lot of the residents with the kids here.
FDOT will hold a public hearing about those raised medians at City Hall next week.
In consumer news, you better watch out for dangerous toys, that is. According to a recent report, items harmful to your kids may be stocked on store shelves. The fidget spinner, for example, has more than 300 times the legal limit for lead. The report states that the biggest hazard involves small children and small toy parts.
Choking hazards are actually the leading cause of recalls as well as deaths, unfortunately.
Now, to see if a toy is safe, you can use a toilet paper roll to see if the parts fit inside. If they do, then it's too small for kids ages 3 and younger. Be aware when you shop and keep your kids' safety in mind.
Happening tomorrow in Manatee County, the West Bradenton Crime Watch and Bradenton Police Department are hosting their 5th annual Safe Kids Fair. There'll be free bike helmets and IDs available for kids, as well as face painting, food, and even service vehicles. That includes a Bay Life helicopter and fire truck to visit. That fair runs from 9 to 2. It's on 19th Avenue West at the Westminster Presbyterian Church in Bradenton. Meanwhile, the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office and the courts are partnering to make the holidays a little nicer for kids in state care. More than 1,500 kids have been removed from their homes because of abuse and neglect. Starting today, the Sheriff's Office will accept toy donations for those kids. ranging in age from newborn to 18 years old. The sheriff's office is asking for toys and gift cards, and they do not need clothing or stuffed animals. Always nice to get a new toy for Christmas.
Oh, it certainly is. Well, nice weekend on the way, John.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think the humidity will be lower like it is this morning. It'll feel cool and crisp in the mornings, and then in the afternoons it'll be a little bit above average in warmth, but still low humidity, making it feel pretty comfortable.
Good.
So nice stuff. A big change coming up, though, later in the week next week with some cooler air arriving. We'll talk about that.
Also ahead, first alert traffic and more accusations against former Today Show host Matt Lauer.
We'll tell you about 2 more women coming forward and what Lauer is speaking out to say for the first time since his termination when we come back. But first, a live look outside. As John mentioned, it's a gorgeous morning, a little bit cooler out there. Clear skies in downtown Sarasota. Your full forecast is straight ahead.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
And for a limited time, Minnesota Flooring is offering you unbelievable pricing on tile and laminate. Porcelain tile only $1.59. Ceramic tile 99 cents. And 16 by 16 tile $1.19. Laminate flooring is only 99 cents. But these prices won't last. Don't miss out on these great deals. Hurry into Minnesota Flooring today.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. The IRS is cracking down on those who owe back taxes. They send out devastating letters, garnish paychecks, and even put liens on your home or business. You may have heard of it. It's called enforced compliance. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms and can negotiate a tax settlement with the IRS. It's that simple. And if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars, finally ending your financial stress. Now is the time for a fresh start. Now is the time to call Tax 10,000. 800-699-3188. That's 800-699-3188. Call now.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app. Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
A 61-degree air temperature, but if you look at the dew point value, that's what's so nice. Temperature dew points are now back down into the 50s, which is a very comfortable, nice dew point that makes it feel sort of crisp out there, despite the air temperature, whether the air temperature is 80 degrees or whether the air temperature is 61 degrees. With a dew point in the 50s, it feels nice. And I think that's what we'll see all day long and all weekend long, actually, before the dew point starts to rise again. 61 degrees is, not too far from the average at this time of year, give or take a couple couple of degrees, which is pretty typical of an average temperature. It's either a little above or a little below the average, right? So we're pretty much on the average for our morning low. Now, daytime high, that's a different story. We'll warm nicely today under the influence of a lot of sunshine and a wind coming at us off of land. We'll see a northerly wind or a northeasterly wind most all day long and really most all weekend long as well, with maybe a brief onshore flow late in the afternoon. If the temperatures get up to 81, 82 degrees, we'll start to see a little brief bit of a sea breeze. 62 degrees in Tallahassee, Gainesville at 55. Chilly there. Orlando at 59, 63 in Fort Myers, and we have temperatures that are generally in the 60s around our region as well. 59 degrees in Mayaca City, 57 degrees in Arcadia, but along the coastline, 61s and 62s are pretty uniform. Our local area area temperatures are all showing, temperatures that are generally in the low 60s along the coastline, and then a few 50s here and there across the region. In fact, we even had Mark and Palmetto call in with a 55-degree temperature in Palmetto. So there are some pockets of cooler temperatures around. 58 degrees in Northport. That's going to be the case all weekend long. No rain in the forecast for today. In fact, across the peninsula, things are pretty dry, except if you get up into the panhandle. A few scattered showers there. That's all caused by a frontal boundary, which really won't make it into our area. Traveling today, nation looks quiet. Little low pressure areas, really the big weather maker, and it's not making very big weather, so it's pretty quiet across the entire nation. Pacific Northwest offshore is seeing another area of low pressure develop. That's our weather maker for next week, when our temperatures will drop significantly. You'll see it in the extended range forecast. Boaters, rejoice. Beautiful day today to be out on the waters. Light chop, 2-foot seas, nice little breezy north wind. And that's really going to be the case all weekend long, with temperatures close to the 80-degree mark carrying us into next work week. We'll start to see the humidity increase on Monday, a front move through with a chance of showers on Wednesday, and then some significantly cooler temperatures coming our way for Thursday and into next weekend. Back to you.
All right, we'll be watching for those changes. Looks like a great weekend. Thank you, John. Looks like a nice morning on the roadways right now. A little bit of volume, State Road 70 in both directions, but other than that, things are moving well in Bradenton. University picking up some volume as well near the shopping area. I-75, though, accident and delay free through Manatee and Sarasota counties. Into South County, things looking good. 41 Osprey down to Englewood, and I-75 looking good all the way to Northport. It is 6:18, and we are learning more about allegations against former Today Show host Matt Lauer, who was fired earlier this week over accusations of inappropriate sexual behavior.
NBC has now heard from 8 women, and Lauer has since issued a qualified apology. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the latest.
Just one day after being fired from NBC, we see Matt Lauer for the first time leaving his home on Long Island in these photos taken by DailyMail.com.
Our top story is once again about our former colleague, Matt Lauer.
As multiple allegations of sexual misconduct surface in less than 24 hours, the former network TV news anchor breaks his silence with a statement saying some of what is being said about me is untrue or mischaracterized, but there is enough truth in these stories to make me feel embarrassed and ashamed. ABC News has learned that since one female colleague went to NBC on Monday with allegations of sexual misconduct, at least 2 other women have made formal complaints about Matt Lauer to NBC News. One of those women also went to the New York Times with her allegation, saying that in 2001, Lauer summoned her to his office, asked her to unbutton her blouse, which she did. At some point, she said she passed out with her pants pulled halfway down. She woke up on the floor of his office, and Mr. Lauer had his assistant take her to a nurse. NBC doubled down on their initial statement, unequivocally denying that any current management had prior knowledge of complaints about Matt Lauer's conduct before this week. And Jeff Zucker, the former president and CEO of NBC Universal, says he also had no idea.
Obviously, I've known Matt for 25 years, and I didn't know this Matt.
But Variety magazine says these accounts are not adding up.
It is at odds with our reporting. We had talked to dozens of former and current staffers who say that there was general knowledge within all ranks of NBC.
In a call with employees on Monday, NBC News President Andrew Lack said he could not get into the details of the accusation, but he did say there was a power dynamic at play that made the encounters inappropriate. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Meantime, the attorney for one of the women accusing film producer Harvey Weinstein says their case is stalling. Paz de la Huerta accuses Weinstein of raping her twice in her Manhattan apartment. Her attorney, Carrie Goldberg, says the Manhattan District Attorney isn't moving forward with the prosecution at this time. Goldberg says the NYPD agrees it's time to indict Weinstein based on the evidence. It's unclear what might be causing the delay in bringing charges against Weinstein. Through a spokesman, Weinstein has repeatedly denied all allegations of non-consensual sex.
Minnesota Democratic Senator Al Franken's groping image was placed on a billboard in Los Angeles on Thursday. This was on display in the Palms neighborhood before later being removed. The cutout was taken from the recent released photo of Franken groping news anchor Leanne Tweeden in 2006. A conservative street art group named Unsavory Agents claimed responsibility for the billboard. A Senate's ethics panel says it has opened preliminary inquiries into the Franken sex scandal amid more misconduct allegations.
And meantime, still ahead, same kind of thing. The sister of the Facebook founder, Mark Zuckerberg, says a man sitting next to her on an airplane allegedly sexually harassed her.
We'll take a look at the letter she just released and tell you why she's upset with flight attendants after this. But at 6:21, we're looking at a gorgeous sunrise this morning. It is Friday. We have a great looking weekend on the way. We will have more details and your top stories coming up in just a few minutes.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Naomi, my California closet designer, has been my partner in crime. She was genuinely fun to work with. We have had a ball collaborating on the 8 units that we have done in our home. The closets in the house are great, but the den is what everyone comments on when they walk in the house. And it's so beautiful. They say, whoa, who did that? And I said, it's California Closets. My name is Melissa, and this is my California Closet story.
Choral Artists of Sarasota presents Too Hot to Handle. Add an electric spark to your holiday season with the return of this joyful gospel reinvention of Handel's Messiah. Shout hallelujah and get ready for a roof-raising performance featuring an ensemble of 100 singers, plus exceptional musicians and outstanding soloists, including Amy Jo Connors and members of the West Coast Black Theater Troupe. Sunday, December 10th, 7:30 p.m. at the Van Wezel. Tickets and info are at choralartistsarasota.org.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed. Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Here's a live picture of the tree lighting that's going on tonight at St. Armand's. This is where it happens, so head out there or watch it on TV. We'll have it during our evening newscast here as well.
Absolutely. A sure sign of the season. December 1st today, and we are starting to see many of the trees coming up and getting lit around the area. I love St. Armand's Circle this time of year. A very pretty place. Just a reminder, if you have any pictures or video that you can share with us or that you would like to see on our show, check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Send us the pictures yours. And I know, Ray, you're out and about on the weekends, always posting things.
Yeah, we'll be at the parade tomorrow night. And also today at 8 o'clock on our Facebook Friday Live, we'll debut our new co-anchor. Stephanie will be with me on Facebook Friday Live, 8 o'clock. Not this Stephanie.
Right, Stephanie Webb.
It's confusing. There's two Stephanies.
It's not confusing. It's easy.
It's easier for me
now.
now.
So easy for you.
Yeah, so we'll meet a new Stephanie with us on Monday. And Stephanie Roberts, of course, will continue her great work on The View, which I watch every day.
Well, thank you. Just with a little more sleep. So I will miss our time together, but I will be happy to get a little more sleep.
I can call you.
Yeah, you could, and I
Early.
probably won't answer.
Right.
It is 6:26, and the sister of Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg is revealing her scathing letter to Alaska Airlines, saying that a man seated next to her made repeated lewd sexual remarks on a plane.
As ABC's Rebecca Jarvis tells us, Zuckerberg says the flight attendants did little to help.
In this morning's GMA First Look, entrepreneur Randy Zuckerberg calling out Alaska Airlines. The sister of Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg sharing her email to the airline detailing an experience aboard a recent flight from Los Angeles to Mazatlan that left her feeling disgusted and degraded. Zuckerberg describing how the unruly passenger sitting next to her repeatedly made explicit, lewd, and highly offensive sexual comments, talked about touching himself, and rated women's bodies as they boarded the aircraft. Zuckerberg says flight attendants aboard her flight brushed off her concerns, told her the passenger was a frequent flyer, and kept giving him drinks. So, how did Alaska Airlines executives respond? We'll tell you coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Rebecca Jarvis, ABC News, New York.
Tired of wrestling with seemingly impossible cleaning tasks? Using wipes in the kitchen can be ineffective. Try Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Simply add water to remove burnt-on food and grease. Try Mr. Clean Magic Eraser.
Nature's Bounty Lutein Blue helps protect eyes from damaging blue light, filtering it out to help you continue enjoying your screens. Or you could just put your phones down and talk to each other. Nature's Bounty Lutein Blue, because you're better off healthy.
When you have a cold, pain from a headache can make this feel like this. All-in-one cold symptom relief from Tylenol, the #1 doctor-recommended pain relief brand. Tylenol.
I love you, Julius Caesar, but sometimes you stink. Febreze Car Vent Clip cleans away odors for up to 30 days. Because the things you love can stink.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On Group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On Group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA has recently warned about an increased risk of leg and foot amputations associated with the use of certain diabetic medications such as Invokana and Invokamet. If you or a loved one took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation, ketoacidosis, kidney failure, or even death, call the Rely On Group now. We are here to help you get the justice you deserve. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-355-8205. That's 800-355-8205.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, more debate on the Lido Key Beach renovation. We'll have details of another vote last night that would derail the project.
Moat Marine wants to expand. We'll tell you how much they'd like to get from the state to contribute.
And the Suncoast being named one of the happiest places to live, according to one new survey. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back on a Friday morning. A look at the U.S. Capitol building where a very important vote in the Senate will occur this morning.
Yeah, increasing concern now about how much the tax reform plan could affect the federal deficit. It is almost $20 trillion right now, so that vote should take place later on this morning. Beautiful shot, though. Look at the sunrise there in progress.
It is a very pretty day in Washington, D.C., and a nice day here on the Suncoast as well. Let's see what we're looking for the weekend. We'll check in with First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi. Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. Yeah, it looks great for us, actually. Temperatures running a little bit cooler this morning. And if you look at the change in temperatures over the last 24 hours, area-wide, we're looking at a 5-8 degree temperature difference over the last 24 hours. Mark in Palmetto has 55 degrees, and Cooper, our weather watcher in central Sarasota, one of our youngest actually weather watcher, has 60 degrees. So significant drop in temperatures. Visibility is reduced a little bit in central Florida, but so far in our area, visibilities are okay for your morning commute. As far as temperatures go across the region, 59 Lakewood Ranch, 58 in Bradenton, Sarasota 61, Venice 62, Northport 60. So you get the idea. Generally uniform temperatures around the 60 degree mark. A little bit of fair weather clouds coming our way with a daytime high temperature topping out near 80 with low relative humidity making it feel pretty comfortable outside. Nice weekend in store. Then we'll talk about a cool down. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, John. Checking First Alert traffic right now. Some increasing congestion on 301 in both directions, particularly around State Road 70. Checking farther south now into Sarasota County. A little blip there on University in the westbound lane as you wait for the light there at 301. Otherwise, the Bayfront showing some buildup around the Ringling Bridge. Also 41 southbound around Tarpon Point. Otherwise, all clear at 6:33 on your Friday morning.
Topping our news this half hour, the ongoing debate over redeveloping the Lido Beach Pavilion. It was back in front of the table on the Sarasota City Commissioners meeting last night.
Yeah, one commissioner wanted to rescind the vote from last week's decision, but as Rick Adams tells us, he didn't have enough support to reverse course.
Back on November 20th, Sarasota City Commissioners voted 4-1 in favor of approving a lease agreement for the Lido Beach Pavilion, where the tenant would pick up the bill for much-needed improvements to the property and transform the facility, which would feature a 200-seat restaurant. Thursday night, on a motion led by Commissioner Willie Shaw, there was discussion about backing out of the approval of the new lease. Vice Mayor Liz Alpert was one of the 4 who voted in favor of the lease agreement.
Commissioner Shaw decided to put it on the agenda. I have no clue why.
Thursday night's motion to rescind on the approval of the lease failed by a vote of 3-2. Shaw and Jen Ahern-Koch were the 2 commissioners who voted to rescind. So that 10-year lease agreement with the option for 2 more 10-year leases will now move ahead as planned.
What was approved was actually what the residents had asked for, on Lido Beach, and, I think eventually they're going to love it.
Lido Beach development partners say they are going to pump nearly $4 million into the worn-down pavilion and pool, adding a splash pad, a tiki bar, and an ice cream parlor in addition to the restaurant. Many folks who are opposed to these plans include the Lido Key Resident Association. They say the master plan they came up with has gotten out of control.
We gave the City Commission a presentation on this, and it's gotten sideways now. It's much bigger than what we really wanted out there.
Shovstall and others were hopeful the city would take back the property and have it as a city-run public beach. In the end, some of the commissioners did have concerns about the legalities of rescinding on a vote that they had already approved. In Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
For the latest on local and breaking news, you can download the updated version of our app. iPhone users need to go to the App Store and re-download this new app. You'll want to search for WWSB or My Suncoast. Android users get the update automatically.
Moat Marine says it's overdue to expand their facility. They're asking for the state to help with $1 million to contribute toward a new project to build more labs. Right now, the facility houses 200 staff members, 24 research programs, and plenty of marine life. Moat says they have gotten crafty to make it work in the past, but now they need extra space. The area's oldest fishing bait and tackle shop in Sarasota has let its lease expire. Hart's Landing is located under the Ringling Causeway near Golden Gate Point. Now, the shop's lease with the city ended last night, and a new vendor takes over soon. The city says it will continue to be a bait and tackle shop run by a group called Taviton LLC.
2 Sarasota men are behind bars after selling meth to undercover detectives. Sarasota County Sheriff's detectives say Samuel Stringer and Jeffrey Chung sold them meth 3 different times. While arresting Stringer, a convicted felon, deputies also found ammunition, narcotics, and drug paraphernalia. Stringer is charged with 2 counts of the sale of methamphetamine, possession of a weapon, and possession of a controlled substance, plus possession of narcotic equipment. Chung, who is already in custody at the Sarasota County Jail, faces 2 counts of the sale of methamphetamine. Northport police have arrested a man for animal cruelty. Officers were called to 62-year-old Roman Schraba's home, where they found the family pet named Fluffy, a 12-year-old Cocker Spaniel, suffering from labored breathing and injuries. The dog had been shot in the head with a BB gun. A local veterinarian also reported that Fluffy had a fractured jaw, stab wounds, and internal injuries. Fluffy had to be euthanized due to these injuries. Scrabba was found passed out at the home. Northport police say he is charged with 1 felony count of animal abuse causing a cruel death and suffering. New this morning, the Manatee County School District Chief Financial Officer has announced her resignation. Rebecca Roberts, who's been with the district since 2014, turned in her resignation 2 weeks ago. Minnesota County School Superintendent Diana Green says this is a tremendous loss to the district, and she praised Roberts' work. Her resignation is effective January 5th, and the district will begin looking for her replacement.
If you're enjoying life here on the Suncoast, you're not alone. National Geographic and Gallup have taken notice. The 2 organizations collaborated to create a list of the 25 happiest places to live, and guess what? The Sarasota Manatee area ranked 14th nationwide. Some of the factors included financial security, vacation time, dental quality, and the ability to learn something new every day. In first place, once again, Boulder, Colorado. Also in Florida, Collier County came in at number 11.
A Manatee County Christmas tradition is set to return this year. The Walk Through Bethlehem is presented by 2 churches, Samoset First Baptist and Southside Baptist. Visitors walk through a replica of the city of Bethlehem that includes a marketplace, shops, even the stable where Jesus was born. Organizers say it's more than just a nativity scene. It is a sensory experience. Each tour group is escorted by a narrator while they listen to music. Over the years, more than 10,000 guests have experienced the Walk Through Bethlehem. This year's program is presented this Saturday and Sunday night in Bradenton.
And happening tonight, the annual tree lighting and the holiday Night of Lights right here on St. Armand Circle. There will be caroling, music, and a special visit from Santa Claus. Now, if you can't make the event in person, we'll show it live during our evening newscasts. Tomorrow night is the annual holiday parade down Main Street in downtown Sarasota. This year, concrete blocks will be placed along the parade route. Each one weighs about 3 tons. They'll be installed with a front-end loader today to ensure protection at 15 different intersections along the parade route, going from Main and 301 down to Main and Gulfstream. Sarasota police hope to make the barriers standard at all upcoming events and activities.
The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office is kicking off the holidays with a bit of humor. The law enforcement agency released this video on social media. It's called A Canine Christmas, and it stars members of the Sheriff's Office Canine Unit. Take a look.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Toys in every store.
They sound an awful lot like Bing Crosby. Well, everybody obviously had a blast making the video, and if you want to see the full video, it is on our Facebook page at facebook.com/mysuncoast.abc. That's so fun.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Northport, huh?
Yeah. I wonder if the dogs sing. I'll have to watch the whole video and find out.
You'll have to watch Charlotte County. I'm sorry, yeah, Charlotte County.
We're looking at some pretty pleasant weather right straight through the weekend with all the festivities going on. Should be A-okay. We'll talk about it in a sec.
All right.
Also coming up, the latest look at First Alert traffic. And it is the eternal debate. What's smarter, a dog or a cat?
We'll tell you about a new study that found the answer that might surprise you when we come back.
We're taking a live look at St. Armand's Circle, where, as we've been saying, the tree lighting ceremony is scheduled for tonight, officially kicking off the month of December on December 1st. We'll have more details coming up.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Attention blood thinner users. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If you or loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
I'm Alan Cohn. In his 45th week in Washington, President Trump calls a U.S. Senator Pocahontas and angers the Brits over his retweets.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at a dew point temperature that's lower than it was 24 hours ago, and that's great. That always feels good when you have a dew point value that's in the 50s. And we're at 59 right now. Many places the dew point's even a little bit lower than that, and it's allowed for the nighttime temperature to fall off lower than the 61 degrees that we have at the airport. In fact, we have some pockets of 50s, 55, 56 degrees across the region. So it's nice. Some of our weather watchers have phoned in and reported that places like Palmetto are coming in at 55 degrees. Mark, give us that report. Temperatures across the state generally holding around the 60-degree mark. We're pretty much at an average morning low temperature across the region here, with 61 in Sarasota, Bradenton, Parrish. Mayaca coming in at 59, Northport at 58, Boca Grande coming in at 54 degrees. I think as we head into the afternoon, though, we will be significantly above the average temperature. Sunshine will work on the land. A wind coming in off of the land as opposed to coming in off water or coming in out of the east will help to warm us up as well. So the combination of all those factors will probably get us back into the 80s again today. Our normal daytime high temperature would be in the upper 70s to mid 70s. So we're doing pretty good across the region in terms of warmth. Not much in the way of any rainfall around our region. To the north of us, there are some scattered showers associated with a cold front that has no chance of making it to us. That cold front stalls out in north central Florida and basically just washes away. Leaves us with the warm temperature streak that we'll enjoy right through probably next week, mid next week. At that point, this high-pressure ridge will move to the east, and an area of low pressure located just to the north will team up with some Canadian air sinking south and provide us with some chillier air just in time for next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend. This front just kind of falls apart, and we're left with mostly sunny skies, a dry weekend, and comfortable humidity. As far as any rainfall goes associated with that front, yeah, not happening. If you have outdoor plans this weekend, it should not be any consideration in terms of rainfall. That's not going to happen. That front just basically falls apart. We're left with a northeasterly wind drawing down that lower humidity air, even making our warmer than average daytime highs in the 80s feel pretty comfortable. Watch this computer model. And again, this is an updated version of yesterday's GFS, and we see these blues and violets of really cooler air sinking south into our area by the time we get into next week. Daytime highs will be reflected in the extended range forecast that I'll show you in a second, maybe only in the upper 60s, so significantly cooler than average air on the way. North wind at about 5 to 10 becomes 10 2-foot seas, light chop, beautiful boating weather right straight through the weekend. Daytime highs come in the low 80s for the next several days. Moisture increases next week. A front comes through, gives us a chance of rain, then the big cool down into the upper 60s. Back to you, Ray.
Checking out First Alert traffic, we are checking out State Route 70 with traffic in each direction. 301 also starting to pick up in volume, but really as of now, things looking pretty good through Manatee County. I-75 is moving well. As we head down into Sarasota, starting to see some volume in both directions on Bee Ridge, but Fruitville and Clark roads look just fine. And I-75 moving well into South County. A little bit of volume in South Venice as you head down toward Port Charlotte. It is 6:47, and in this hour's Health Smart, a new study suggests dogs may be smarter than cats. Researchers at Vanderbilt University found that the cerebral cortex of a dog has about twice as many neurons as a cat. Now, neurons are brain cells that are used for thought, planning, and behavior. Neuron density has been linked to overall cognitive ability. It turns out dogs have about 530 million cortical neurons, while cats have 250 million. In case you were wondering, humans have 16 billion. And a small but growing number of U.S. hospitals are now offering a delicate operation to help cancer patients. The surgery replaces lymph nodes that are lost in cancer treatment. That's a side effect known as lymphedema. Lymphedema is a chronic swelling in an arm or a leg. In severe cases that can be disfiguring, impair mobility, and cause disabling pain. It currently has no cure, but with the replacement of lymph nodes, it can be easier to live with.
I had a hard time lifting things. The mobility in this arm was restricted. It made things, normal, everyday tasks, very difficult. So when I woke up and my arm was so much lighter, and the aching and the heaviness was gone.
Millions of Americans are estimated to have some degree of this, whether it's hereditary or resulting from an injury, and many U.S. cases leave a lasting side effect from a treatment of a variety of cancers.
Caught on camera, a delivery driver's gift that nobody would want. Look at this. Home surveillance caught an Amazon delivery driver making a deposit of sorts right there at the end of the driveway. What's going to happen here? Amazon has taken full responsibility and says the driver is no longer making deliveries. And they even sent the homeowner a gift card for their trouble. Not sure exactly what he did. Baltimore police officials have released body cam video from an officer who was shot in the hand this week. It happened while the officer and another colleague were struggling with a man with a gun. Now let's watch this. The gun went off and a bullet went through the officer's hand. He is now recovering. The man faces charges of attempted murder of a law enforcement officer. And it's a jewel heist with a twist. Thieves swiping gold and gems is nothing new, but using your kids is new. Over $30,000 worth of jewelry was taken from the Bella Jewelers in Arkansas, all by tiny hands. Let's watch this now. A woman showed her child the exact pieces she wanted him to grab, and when staff looked away, he grabbed the goods. Bella Jewelers is hoping sharing this video can help bring the thieves to justice. Could you see it there?
I don't want to even think about the fact that someone's using their child to do such a thing.
Yeah,
that's awful.
Still ahead, your day's top local news headlines, and the first family kicked off the holiday season last night.
We'll show you the scene at the White House Christmas tree lighting after this, and a gorgeous look outside our area as well. We are looking at Tower Cam this morning. It's moving quickly, but it's moving at a gorgeous sunrise. 6:50, we'll be right back.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
So I never had closet systems before. Our designer, Bridget, was able to listen and ask the right questions, taking our ideas and making them happen. We were totally satisfied from beginning to end. I knew the California Closets would help me with every aspect of the design process, and they delivered 100%. My name is Teresa, and this is my California Closet story.
The perfect musical for the holidays is live on the Players Center stage. Packed with the big band sounds from World War II, the 1940s Radio Hour is our boogie-woogie bugle boy answer to the holiday blues. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. The Players Wild Broadway series wishes you a Merry Christmas with the 1940s Radio Hour.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me.
Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
6:54, gorgeous shot of St. Armand's Circle and the Christmas tree. There's a tree lighting ceremony tonight, and it looks like we'll have some great weather. Folks already out and about there this morning. Here's a look at some of the stories that we are following for you on the Suncoast today.
Prosecutors may seek the death penalty against a man suspected in the Seminole Heights serial killings. Howell Donaldson was arrested earlier this week.
Mote Marine is hoping the state can help with expansion plans. They are requesting $1 million to help with a project to build more labs. The facility currently has 200 staff members and 24 different research programs.
And National Geographic ranks Sarasota Bradenton as the 14th happiest place to live in the country. First place, Boulder, Colorado. Also in Florida, Naples, number 11.
Quick look at First Alert traffic. No major problems out there. Building volume in downtown Bradenton and State Road 70 out by Lakewood Ranch, but expressways and 41 and 301 are accident-free. John?
Looks good for us today. We'll have a daytime high that tops out near the 80-degree mark. And tonight for the tree lighting, looks great too. Nighttime lows will probably be in the 60s, but at that time during the evening, about 71 with comfortable relative humidity.
Well, tonight is St. Armand's. Last night was the White House. The first family lit the national Christmas tree last night. The annual event dates back to 1923 when John Scalzi first got in weather. President Calvin Coolidge in power then. This year, the First Lady, Melania, pushed a button to set the tree aglow with golden lights and silver stars. The president wished the country a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and unbelievable holidays. Quote, the lighting was hosted by TV host Kathy Lee Gifford and actor Dean Cain.
Very, very pretty, but it'll be nice to see our version.
Pretty tree.
Lit in St. Armand's tonight. What a weekend. The Sarasota Holiday Parade tomorrow night,
Yep.
the tree lighting tonight.
Yes.
Lots of great things.
Yeah, it's going to be great all weekend long, too. That's the beautiful thing. I love it when it's kind of a little bit cool, a little bit crisp, but the humidity is low. I love that kind of weather.
Thank you for your service.
Always back in and out.
Another Stephanie on Monday, folks. You'll meet her on Facebook Live at 8 o'clock on our website.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.